Good afternoon, everyone. Class SY BSc, paper number first, that is Animal Diversity third. In Animal Diversity third, last leg we see the last leg chapter, that is chapter number 6, Study of Scoliodon. This is the last lecture of this chapter, and the last point in that paper, that is yolk sac placenta. The copulation and fertilization. Copulation means mating or union of male and female gonads, and after that fertilization. By fertilization, embryo can be formed and the young ones can be generated. For copulation, one or both claspers of male are inserted into the cloaca of the female and are fixed in position by the erection of the terminal pieces. For the forwardly directed spines of the scales on the claspers facilitate their insertion and check their slipping out during the copulation. The seminal fluid with the sperms is forced through the grooves of the claspers, and the apopiles are now closed by tilting the claspers. Then muscular walls of the siphons contracts, forcing the seawater present in them into the groove of the claspers. With this water, seminal fluid is flushed into the cloaca of the female, and the sperms swim up the oviducts, reaching in front of the shell glands where fertilization is occur. The mature egg release from the ovaries and reach there by way of the ostium tube, being pushed into it by the cilia of the body cavity. Uh, what is mean by copulation? Copulation means first process is formed after last lecture आपण मेल urinogenital system आणि female urinogenital system पाहिली. In the male sex organ is testes and female sex organ is ovaries. The fusion of these two organs, sex organ, after that this process is called as copulation. In that copulation, both claspers of male are inserted into the cloaca of the female and they fix the position, and the forwardly directed spines of the scales of the claspers of female male facilitate their insertion and checking their slipping during the copulation. And the seminal fluid with sperm present in testes of male is inserted or forced through the grooves of the claspers, and it closed by the tilting of claspers, and the fluid is inserted into or flushed into the cloaca of the female, and in that fluid the sperms are present. The sperms swim up to the oviduct in the body of female and reaching in front of the shell gland where fertilization is occur, and the sperm is stored in shell gland, and after that in female body mature egg released from the ovaries, and these eggs reach by the way of ostium tube and is pushed into the cilia of body cavity. तिथे प्रेझेंट असणाऱ्या बॉडी कॅव्हिटी मधल्या सिलिया पुश करतात एग्सला into the oviduct or shell gland, and in that condition the sperm fuses to the ovaries or eggs, and after that fusion embryo can be formed. After that embryo, the formation of that embryo is called as fertilization. Male organ, male gonad and female gonad, fusion of male gonad and female gonad, and this after that embryo is formed, and this formation of this embryo or process of this union is called as fertilization. After fertilization, development can be formed, and this development in scoliodon is viviparous, means egg laying, not egg laying, direct give the birth to the young ones. The development takes place in the uteri of female, and 4 to 6 embryos develop simultaneously. Means simultaneously 4 to 6 embryos can be developed, means 4 to 6 sperms can be fused with 4 to 6 eggs. The mucous membrane of the uteri form as many as chambers there are embryos, and the chambers are full of a fluid that protect the embryo. In that embryo generate a mucous membrane, forms a chamber, and this chamber is full of fluid. This fluid is help to protection that embryo. In the early stage, the embryo get nourishment from that yolk of the eggs contained in a reservoir, and this is called as yolk sac. The fluid, the chamber, after copulation, fertilization occur, that means embryo can form, and this embryo is surrounded by a fluid, by mucous membrane, and this fluid is nourished to the embryo, and this nourishment is a reservoir of the, or this nourishment from this fluid is called as yolk sac, and it is conveyed to the embryo via tubular yolk stalk, which leads into the gut of the embryo. When the yolk is used up, the yolk sac becomes folded, embedded in the uterine wall, and thus forming the yolk sac placenta. Placenta, it is the connection between the that embryo and mother, through which the embryo obtains its nourishment from the uterine tissue of the female. And with the formation of placenta, the tubular connection of the yolk sac with the intestine becomes obliterated, but the blood vessels are developed in the yolk stalk, which thus becomes the placental cord, which are attached to the mid-ventral line at a point level with the anterior edge of the pectoral fin of the female fish. And this is all about the diagram, sorry, yolk sac or development of scolioderm. The nourishment is now brought about by diffusion of material from the uterine blood into the embryonic blood through the wall of the capillaries in the placenta. Placentaची वॉलमधले जे कॅपिलरीज प्रेझेंट असतील, थ्रो दिस कॅपिलरीज दे नरिश्ड these young ones by the uterine blood. A number of slender processes, thus appendages, grow out from the placenta cord into the uterus to absorb the nutrition secretion of the uterine walls, and the young ones about 1.5 centimeter long are born. This is all about all about the development of young ones of Scoliodon. First copulation is formed, after that fertilization, after fertilization development, and after fulfill of development they give the birth to direct young ones. And this process, or this giving the birth direct young ones, this is called as Scoliodon is viviparous. So this is the last point of study of Scoliodon. Syllabus is over here. Thank you.